I mean, if we're honest, we think we left 3 games out there that we should have won. You know, but again, some of it early on is on me, but some of it is the fact that I got some good advice to be stubborn. You know, only play guys if they're going to guard, if they're going to buy in. And Buffalo, we had a couple that we played that probably weren't completely aligned with what we wanted to do, and that's when we shrunk the bench and we started playing multiple defenses. And but again, we feel like we should have beaten Minnesota, and we should have beaten Yale. So it's great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, winning is way better than losing. And having 4 wins now feels good. And we feel like we've given ourselves a chance here with today's game to get everybody feeling good and everybody healthy and rested for conference play. And obviously, we would have wanted to have Marcus today. He's just not ready to go. So all that's great. But privately, what I'd share is we think we're better than we've played. And, as a coaching staff, we got to figure that out. And we finally started winning games that were close as opposed to those 3 games that we lost. That's really the difference so far, is closing those games out.
How much has there been an improvement by the guys who are coming back from last year? Obviously, you guys like Preston are already good, but CJ seems like he's taken another step up. How big have these experienced guys on your system been so far?
I mean, you saw them. They're different players. Some of it comes from understanding what we want to do, understanding the system, where the points are, where the cuts are. But a lot of it is, I thought the previous guys were super invested, Dennis, Jordan, and Arch in terms of skill development. And I think Jerry's done a great job. Jerry Smith's done a great job, as has the rest of our coaching staff. And, I think it's a layered thing. It's knowing what's expected of you. It's confidence because you've done it before. It's a coaching staff that's heavily invested in developing players. Like, we've developed C.J. O'Hara. C.J. O'Hara was a walk-on when he got here. Caden Wilkins was a walk-on when he got here. Those guys are legit Horizon League players, really good players. And some of it's them. Some of it, I believe we deserve some credit because we have to be a program. Green Bay is not going to be successful if we have a new team every year. We have to have a high retention rate. And there was a couple guys that left that I know personally would have been really good this year. But again, that was their choice. So, I mean, that's really the difference here is we started playing the returners with encouragement and moving Rudy back over to the point. He's been outstanding. And again, we're still not, we haven't played Marcus in 3 games. He's really good, and I think he'll be even better now playing with Justin, who's more of a shot creator, than with LeBron, who's still kind of figuring out Division I basketball.
Is there something about learning how to win, like even
Yes.
in this game?
Hardest thing to teach.
Yeah.
Hardest thing to teach is learning how to win. And I think, going into Minnesota, Marcus had a little bit of a kind of a mental breakdown in telling me that he was trying to lead and he felt like it was hurting his game. But I just felt and you guys can ask Rudy, I haven't planted a seed, but I just felt like the 3 of us, me, Marcus, and Rudy, were all feeling so much pressure to win. It's like, again, I try and block out all the outside noise, but it's really hard. And I think the biggest thing holding us back was us. It's just, was it 22 losses in a row? 21? That was hard. And no matter how much you can tell them, you're not losers, you're winners, we're doing the right things, it'll happen, it'll work, it still beats you up. And I think, again, I don't know if that's what worked, but before the Minnesota game, I made sure in front of the rest of the team to tell them, you got to let go of last year. Last year is last year. That's not who we are. We're a different team, a different mentality. I'm more experienced, coaching staff's more experienced, players are more experienced. We know how this thing works. We know we're good. We know who we've recruited, and we believe in you. And I felt like that took a weight. And then this guy just decided, I'm going to start taking over games. And when I say taking over games, it's not just scoring. That's a big part of what we needed. But it's also taking over games, making guys get in the right spots. Like we have nice kids, but sometimes too nice. Like sometimes you got to tell them, you got to go there, you got to go there, you got to defend better, you got to rebound better. And he kind of took it, and I give him complete, got carte blanche to do whatever in leading. And I think his leadership and his will to score has been incredibly important. And then I think taking the pressure off of all of us. And then you get one, you feel better. But yeah, you got to learn how to win. Got to learn how to close games. And some of that is me coaching wise, where we last year about midseason we started put in a couple of, I in my mind are winning plays. Hey, we need a bucket. This is what we need. And we just kind of drilled 5 of them. But last year we turned it over too much. We couldn't rebound. We just kind of all these little things that kept us in the margins from the main thing. And again, if you look today, too many turnovers with 13, but 14 offensive rebounds. You go back and look in the Virgin Islands, we're offensive rebound in the basketball. That's coached. And that's CJ, that's Madawan, that's Ramel, that's Mac punching that ball out and playing that way. It's a mentality, but it's also you got to teach it. You are what you teach. So yes, to answer your question, you have to learn how to win. Some of it as a coach, but again, like I feel like I knew how to win at all levels, and just took a while to kind of figure it out at the college level. I went through this my freshman year at Notre Dame. We won 7 games, but I knew how to win and figured it out. I think Rudy knows how to win, and we've kind of sort of figured out the formula. We have a couple others that got to figure out things they need to do to be on the court in winning time, because the ones that are playing in key minutes are the ones we trust.
Preston, expanding on what he said, did you feel a sense of pressure? Did you hear some of that outside noise? Did Marcus feel that? Was there that sense from you and Marcus, what Doug's talking about?
I feel like the biggest thing for me was we put pressure on ourselves. Obviously not like totally the outside. We don't listen to the outside as much, but we put pressure on me and Marcus, especially on ourselves to, will this team to some wins. Losing isn't fun. We never want to lose. So we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to, not let that happen again. And I think when Coach pulled us aside and talked to us, some of that pressure came off. And we just, we knew at the end of the day that we were good enough to win here. We did it 2 years ago, and we can do it again.
When Marcus goes down in that first game, it's almost like, okay, is this going to be Anthony all over again, where we just kind of collapse after that, and then you guys respond by winning 2 straight. How big was that to respond in that way after losing one of your best players and still beating two teams with winning records?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was big. Definitely gives us a lot of confidence. Justin stepping up really big, CJ stepping up really big, and even like Vuk, a player like Vuk, he steps up really big. People don't know this, but he came late traveling, so that's really hard to come in. Your best player goes down, and you're not even there to practice 2 days before the game, and you're stepped up to play huge minutes, and he came through for us. So people don't see that, but we definitely see that, and we know that we have players that can help us in those moments.
Preston, 12 for 16, 6 for 9 from 3. At what point in the game were you just feeling like the hoop was 3 times as big as it was?
In the beginning, I don't think I was playing very well. I made shots, but the little things. I missed 2 closeouts, had a couple turnovers, and then Coach Rupp and Coach Doug before the game told me to be aggressive, and I took that to heart, and just trying to find my openings. But as I'm looking at this stat sheet, I really want to shout out Ramel. Stuff's been really hard for him. He was in the starting lineup, had a couple DNPs, and he comes on as 15 and 8. Like, that's really big for us. If he can get going, have a couple block shots, and then get a couple blocks, keys to him for coming out and going to work.
Doug, last year you and I were talking, you probably won't remember this, but I phrased a question, if you're able to turn this around, and you stopped and said when. Kind of putting you on the spot here, and you already said, hey, I think we could have even played better in some of these games. At 4 and 5, but already matching last year's win total. Have you gotten to the point where it's now?
Do you think I came here to win 4 games?
No, but there's only been 9 though. It's
again. Do you think I came here to win 4 games?
Have you?
No.
Do you sense that you've turned this around?
No. Thursday we'll find out. Thursday we'll find out. That's in our league, you don't even worry about what anybody's record is, because everybody's playing. Oakland's playing murderers row. Like, they're really good. They're really good. They're loaded talent wise. And I know that Robert Morris. I have a lot of respect for Andy, what he did last year with that crew, and I know they had a lot of money, and they went out and spent, and they had some quality bigs. And how much did we struggle with that last year? So we're not into attaboys or turned it around. Like, let's find out Thursday what we got in the league. We got 3 tough league games, and then we got Santa Barbara here is one of the best mid-majors in the country, and then we go to Campbell, and I think they're pretty talented. They've played a really, really hard schedule as well. So no, I'm in no way is this, hey, we got it. Like, let's talk at the end of the year, figure it out. But we're definitely making progress, and I completely agree with Rudy. Like, we have to get Ramel and Madouan playing better, and we got to give them the ball more. We can't play 4-on-5, and they got to rebound and defend, and they're both super capable. They both have a ton of upside. And then, he's starting to get praise, but C.J. O'Hara's a heck of a player, man. Heck of a player. And the best thing is he sacrifices ego. He works as hard as anybody at shooting the basketball. And he made one, was it the UMass game? Mm-hmm. He made one against UMass, and we all went kind of crazy, whatever, because that was his first he made all year. But, you look at how many he turned down today, because all he wants to do is win. And we've got him probably over-programmed to, these are what the shots he wants to take, this is how he wants you to play. If you do it, you'll be successful. And, dude played 21 minutes, had 13 points on 6 shots, had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers. Again, like, I wanted to recruit guys. Look, do I want talented players? Yeah. The fact that CJ was a guy that nobody wanted, and we did. And in the offseason, could have left. I don't know how much interest there was. We wanted him back. And he's worked and worked and worked and made himself into an integral part. We're just not that good right now when we don't have Rudy and CJ on the floor. Like, that's crazy. Crazy to think of that he is so important to our team from last year to this year, considering there were so many times in practice where, his nickname was Baby Dragon last year, right? Because he has the chance to be a fire breather defensively. But he would just, when he wasn't guarding the basketball, he's just a chill kid. He's just, kind of whatever. And now he's playing with a greater level of intensity and purpose, and they all trust him, And he has amazing finishing skills, which, we work on, but some of that is just his work in the gym. So, anyway, didn't come here to win 4 games. But is it better? Sure. I'm not, but we're not going to take attaboys from, 4 wins, 9 games in the season.
What's the status of Marcus right now? Are you hopeful he could be back for Robert Morris?
It'd be unfair to put pressure on him, but I believe he'll. He probably, if it's a league game tonight, he probably goes. He wanted to. My issue was he was practicing yesterday, and he was hobbling a little bit and trying to show I can go, I'm tough, whatever. And I just don't want him to hurt something else because he's not running right. So he got a hard workout in today. He got a rehab session today. He's going to do another one this afternoon. And we'll see. If he's ready, he'll go. If not, Caden Wilkins gets to start. Simple.
Not to get anything schematically, but you guys pushed the pace of play for what felt like a good majority of the game, forced a lot of turnovers, got out in transition. Is that something of emphasis going forward? Like, you guys want to play as fast as possible?
Well, we want to play with pace offensively, but we're not going to extend ourselves defensively. So, we always want to play with pace and play with purpose and get paint touches. And not just kind of walk the ball, but again, within reason. Like we play Iona, we had to slow it down. We could score anytime we wanted, but they want to play at this feverish pace. And I think there's teams in the league, Indy, Cleveland State, that want to play breakneck speed. And in those games, that's not what we want to do. So it's just going to be based upon we're not getting out and pushing until we rebound the basketball. I can't emphasize enough how much we've worked on it, and we're not great at it yet. But how important defending and then rebounding the basketball is. Those 2 things. We do that, run all you want, And we have some guys that are really good in the open court. CJ's great in the open court. Justin missed a layup in the open court, but he's usually an amazing finisher, kind of coming downhill, right? And Rudy now being aggressive, transition threes, that's really hard to defend because now you got to pick them up sooner, so those high drag ball screens are open more. And then, I don't know if you guys know this, Madouan's got incredible speed for a young man his size. He doesn't yet know when to run, when not to run. Ramel, same thing. So, we want to take advantage of it, but it's more a product of rebounding the basketball and then ripping it out and run. That's more the focus. But, yes, we want to play with pace, if that makes any sense.
I was going to ask, when your coach says you basically have the green light to just go out there and play your game, what sort of confidence does that instill in you where your coach is telling you just go out and play, have fun, and go out and score 20, 30 points?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence, to just feel the game. We want to control the game. So, like Coach says, when we're playing well, we want to play fast. When we're not, slow the tempo down and get a good shot. So just trying to feel the game and trying to exploit what the defense is doing. And he just gives me a lot of confidence to go out there and play free.
You guys wearing different colors today, celebrating Oneida Nations. How important was this for the connection with the community? You came in wanting to make a new connection to different parts of the community, and how did you feel like that went today?
I thought our marketing staff, I thought, Chancellor Mike and Josh, here's the progression of events is I listened to Chancellor Mike speak last year when I first got here, and he mentioned First Nations. And so I pulled him aside and I said, I understand it's Native American culture. And he kind of explained the level of importance, the fact we have a part of our campus is First Nations. So I asked if Adidas had the N7 uniforms that Nike has for schools around Native American communities. New Mexico wears them, Oklahoma State wears them, a couple other wears them. And they're like, no. So this is like a year and a half ago. I said, hey, ask First Nations if they will develop a design for a uniform. And then I got a chance to meet Steve, who tragically passed away, and of course his son, who both played at Haskell. And I was kind of tipped off to, Haskell is a famous Native American university. It started as a boarding school, then it was a junior college, now it's a four-year school. And so when we got to meet with them, I said, hey, can you help us arrange a game? And Steve came up to me at the, what's the big event we have, fundraiser?
Steak fry?
Steak fry. He came out to me at the steak fry and he was in tears. He's like, you're really going to play Haskell? I said, yes. He said, that's amazing. I don't think you know what that does for Native kids, especially in the Oneida tribe. So we went out, Josh and I went out to the Oneida tribe and met with both of them, and it was great. And what was important to me is for the Haskell kids and for everyone from Oneida to understand this is done to honor them. They're just such a big part of the history of Wisconsin, and they're a big part of the university. So I thought our promotion was outstanding. Credit goes to our promotional staff. And I thought, Chancellor Mike says, hey, this is important, do it. And we did all of the right things. And the uniforms are just a piece. We got the T-shirts. All the promotion was about Haskell and about the Native American community, not about Green Bay. And again, that's what this community has to be. In order for it, the way I view basketball is the way I view life, is that it's the old, it takes a village, right? And we can't be successful at Green Bay unless everybody at Green Bay is on board. Everybody. And that means Oneida, that means locals, that means people in Milwaukee, that means, we got a kid from Wausau, Heartland, everywhere. That's the only way you do it is as a collective group. That we talked about it about a week and a half ago. We're a bunch of fingers. We got to make a fist. We got to be united. We got to be one. And so this is just the first step. Not going to be the last time we play this game. Not going to be the last time we honor Oneida. Not going to be the last time that Haskell is on campus at Green Bay. It's just the beginning of building that partnership and that kind of collective group. And we want this to be for years and years to come, that every year we honor the Native American heritage in the state of Wisconsin. And this is just the first step in doing it.